But be mindful. But if you were muscle bound, then you could move.
Yeah.
So actually being athletic,
Yeah.
and all the most athletic boxers, Larry Holmes. You mentioned Larry Holmes, great jab, great mover. He wasn't six pack. I don't think you always need that. But some people do. If you're built for power and you're going forward trying to bash people up, but for a mover like yourself, you need to be as loose and as agile as possible.
And you're on your toes pretty much for 12 rounds. Actually, just going back, I wanted to ask you, which nobody did, how has your life changed since you've become world champion? How's it been for you?
Not a lot. It hasn't changed at all, actually. Got the same wife.
That's good. You've mentioned that quite a few times.
Live in the same house, drive the same car. Nothing's changed, really.
Okay.
What can life change, really, with a few belts in the cupboard? Not really. Nothing really much changes. People write a few more bad things about me on the internet and on the papers. But that's about it, really, Barry. But, I'll give you a little bit of factual information now, considering you mentioned Larry Holmes. Also, Larry Holmes went up 75 pounds in between fights. Oh, 45 pounds, sorry, in between fights, which is heavier than I've even put on. I went 3 stone 3 pounds overweight. He went 45 pounds overweight, so...
You know what I love? I was just going to say, you said, I don't care about boxing, but you know everything about boxing. You said you're a historian of boxing. You just gave us facts. You reeled off facts about Larry Holmes.
Yeah, well,
so
I am a historian.
But you like boxing.
I like researching it and talking about it, but I don't actually like doing it. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. That's a bit of an understatement.
Depends if you're winning or not.
Depends. No, not if I win, because I always win, but... Depending on who I'm fighting and if I've got something to prove or if I haven't, then that's the different Tysons you see. If it's all on the line and I'm risking millions of pounds, then I'm just going to do what it takes to get the W. But when I know I can beat somebody like Vladimir, then I just go flat out, try and get him out of there, which creates interesting fights.
I was going to say about the weight, because obviously heavyweight you can weigh what you want. Yeah. How important is it to lose that to get to a certain weight? Do you have like actually a poundage? Yeah. And do you want to get exact on that weight or near it, or it doesn't matter too much, or what?
Yeah, my fighting weight of the last 2-3 years has been around about between 18.4 and 18.7, and I've even been as light as 17 stone. So I'm a big fella, so I need to be heavier, if you know what I mean. I need to be quite heavy, but not too heavy because I move a lot. Yeah. So when you're a natural mover, then you need to be agile enough but strong enough to do the damage. And I ain't a one-punch knockout artist. I'm more of an accumulation puncher. And I'm probably the most active heavyweight, like throwing punches in rounds there's been for a long time, because when I get going, I'll throw more than 60-70 punches around, and I can hold that for 12-15 rounds if needed.
Tyson, I know you've got to go because you've got so much media here, which you're talking about just then.
But
finally,
I'm talking to you, pretty face, rather than talking some ugly ones.
All right, let's stay here then.
Let's stay here for the next half an hour.
I do. That's very kind. I do want to talk about your fans though, because I know you said previously, I can fight anywhere. I don't care, whatever. It doesn't intimidate me. Yeah. But I want to know how much it means to you, because you talk so much about your heritage and how important it is to you to be here in Manchester, where you grew up, and to be in front of all your home fans on British soil.
Obviously, it's a fantastic achievement what Frank's done. He brought a super champion or former super champion to England, and that's never happened before. We've never had a super champion come here. The likes of Mayweather, and he's on that level. For my opinion, to be undefeated for all them years, it puts you on that level. So to bring someone like that over is an achievement in itself. But yeah, I'm very, very happy that it's in Manchester. I've not ever fought here, even though I'm from the city. Right. Never ever fought in this venue. I was supposed to fight here a couple of times against a guy with no name and no heart, but we all know what happened there. So that makes for I didn't fight here. So it's just a new thing for me too. Okay. I was giving it the bigging over there, like this is my hometown and all, like my fans, my stadium.
Your arena, but
in hindsight, I've been a spectator here a few times.
Well,
going back a long few years.
It's good as a spectator, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've done a few fights here as well.
Fantastic. But I can guarantee one thing: this venue's never had a heavyweight champion of the world in it. Not the best one anyway, from the city. So there we are.
I know I definitely have to go, but I'm going to ask you one more question because you said I could, and these are telling me that I can't.
Just do it.
When we
Everyone
watched
loves
your
the
fight,
rogue.
when we watched the fight in November, Vladimir Klitschko got in the ring and he looked scared of you. And you mentioned it before. Sat there as well. We talked about your different characters. He's shy, and you're a bit of an extrovert. He seemed intimidated. Do you think he's still scared of you? Do you think he's scared of you?
I don't think he's scared of me, no, because he's had 60 odd fights, and if you're not scared, it's a boxing match. He's been there, done it all before. But when you're going in there and you know you can't beat somebody, but you're just doing it to have a last payday or just have a redemption if you can, then it becomes hard work for you, doesn't it? If I go somewhere I don't really want to be there, I'm not wholeheartedly wanting to be there, then I make an excuse and I want to go somewhere else ASAP. If I go somewhere, just for an instance, and to make my wife happy, just, you know, as you have to do, like, sometimes you really don't want to go somewhere, and she's like, I do all this for you, can you not just come here for me? So I turn up and then I have 2 drinks and I think, right, if I'm going to put the phone on, make it call me or something, or make an excuse just to get out of there. And that's what I think Vlad's going to do. Okay. I think he's coming here for, obviously, 1, for a last big payday, 2, because he's 6'6" and 250 pounds and can punch like an horse kicking, and 3, he's giving it his last chance saloon thing. He's going to come, give it a go, and if he can't get me out of there, then he's just going to pack it in. I see him retiring me, or else if not, if he does really come swinging, I see myself knocking him out.
So I was going to ask you, because you were a little bit of an unknown, as you said yourself at the press conference to Klitschko at the time, but then you box so well, now he knows what you're going to do, and I presume you're going to do similar same sort of style, because it works so well for you. Will there be any sort of complacency in your corner that you think you know what to do, you just dance and throw lots of punches and that'll be enough?
I'll hold it now because your arm's aching probably, right?
Go on. You know, it was enough the first time, and there is a saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
But you know, it's I keep getting reviews back that it was a boring fight, this, that, and the other. But I watch it quite a lot, and I understand heavyweight boxing, and I thought it was a fantastic performance on my behalf. Anyway, it wasn't my fault. Like Klitschko didn't want to throw any punches, and he didn't want to risk getting knocked out. But if the shoe was on the other hand, he was outboxing me, and I got to say round 8, 9,
yes,
and I couldn't get him with any shots. I'd put my hands up forward, get windmilling forward, and try and get him out of there.
We were just saying the same
go
thing.
in, win, or go out on a stretcher.
Yeah.
I won that fight clearly, nearly every round. But in the last round, Peter said, right, get out there and get him now, knock him out. So if you look at round 12, it was more active in round 12 than it was in round 1, 2 to 11.
Yeah.
So, because that's what we are. We didn't want to box away and try and win on points. I tried to get him out of there in the last, and I couldn't get him out of there.
Was it a nervous at the end of the fight? Because even though you boxed so well, it was clear you won.
Yeah.
But being away from home, that maybe you weren't going to get the rub of the green.
You never know what's going to happen. There has been a lot of bad decisions in boxing, and especially in Germany. So I didn't know what was going to go down, but God is good, and I prayed, and I said, listen, if it's your will, let it be, and if not, no problem. I only went there and done the best that I could do on the day, and that was it, and it was enough, and I was given the victory and onto it. But like he said, all these things have been said and yada yada yada, but it isn't like I mistake to say them all, is it? Like, ooh, I slipped it out. I meant to do it all.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
It's all meant to do. So all this controversy and all this stuff that's been created by me, the hype machine, the promoter's dream, yeah, I do it on purpose because I can. Because I can talk. I can talk a glass eye to sleep, if you haven't noticed. No one else can, so that's why I'm a big draw in boxing.
You did say that in the press conference that, you know, if you just had a yes and no answer interview, you kind of wouldn't get all the hype. So I know that I'm actually being told to hurry up. So
I think we should drag it on. I've got a story to tell. Frank, are you all right with us going on Box Nation? Me getting all these views on Box Nation, or shall I go to somewhere else? That man's
Frank,
paying me.
Come in, Frank. Join
in the middle,
join
Frank.
our little hub studio.
He's paying the bills, so
It's right,
up
yes.
to him.
Get in the middle, boss.
Can I sit on your stool?
Get in the middle, Frank.
Okay then, so we've got a bit longer with you.
Go on, then. Yeah, lovely.
A little
Happy
bit.
days.
Should we bring Frank into it?
What's this?
All
Yeah,
right,
go on then.
Frank. What did you think of the press conference and Tyson Fury there and the questions that were asked?
I think, thank God, Tyson was there. Otherwise, you wouldn't get too much for a press conference. He says all the things that he says, and I think that, you know, as he said, from a promotion point of view, there's some fantastic things that he comes out with, and he's you know, I'm talking like he's not here, but he's a very intelligent man. There's no doubt about that. He knows his boxing, he knows his history, and he can fight. And I've become a big fan of Tyson's after he fought Derek Chisora, because I really thought Chisora was going to give him a lot of problems.
Good idea.
And he did. He never won a second.
almost did, though.
He never won a second fight. And one thing you say about him, and I know he's here again saying the same thing, but he's never ducked anyone. You know, David Haye, I'll fight David Haye. Chisora, I'll fight Chisora. Klitschko, I'll fight him. And Klitschko didn't want to fight him. He fought himself into the position, into the mandatory position for the fight. So he doesn't duck anyone. There's nobody who he won't fight. And that's the bottom line with Tyson, I think, is that as a heavyweight, it's not like hand-picking guys. You know, of course, when guys start out when they're younger, you guide them through and you give them a few easy jobs and learning jobs. But he'll fight anybody. And I find that really refreshing in any weight division, because there are so many boxers who try to avoid each other. If he could fight Wilder tomorrow, he'd fight him. Or Povetkin was world champion, he'd fight him. There's no doubt about it.
Going on that comments, is that because you have supreme confidence in your ability?
No, it's not that. I believe if you're going to be any good, you'll do it. If you want to be the best in the division, it's no point in fighting bum people. You've got to fight the best to be the best. And, you know, like Frank said, I ain't afraid to fight anybody. I've had hard fights from 6-7 fights. In my 6th fight, I fought an English champion who was runner-up twice for the British title on a split decision losses and stuff in my 6th, 7th fight, and give me hell and high water, hardest fight in my life, even harder than Klitschko. So for me to be in that deep water so early, and again undefeated fighters after undefeated fighters, name anybody else, only other heavyweights who do this. If you look down my record, I think there's more undefeated heavyweights I've fought on there than any other heavyweight in the country put together.
Yes, you've almost had the squad and experience and gone the proper way up to the world champion. And I was also going to talk about, from now you've got just under 11 weeks, you go into your training camp. Do you kind of shut yourself away? Because I know you feature in the press a lot. Every time I read a newspaper, you're involved in it on different comments. You know, what are you going to do from now? Do you, because I know you come across as like nothing bothers you, you know, but do you have to work on your mind and psychology as well? No,
the psychology thing in the mind is not something that I suffer with. You think I'm like Vladimir Klitschko, do you? No, I don't suffer with all that. I just got to go in camp, get the weight off. The weight's my main issue. Living the life outside of boxing, which I don't do, and which I probably never will do. I'm not going to lie about it. I can't go out and eat salad sandwich. I'm going to go out and eat whatever I want, how I want, when I want, because that's my personality. It's all or nothing, everything I do. If I over-addictive personality, I couldn't go and have one drink. It'd have to be until I couldn't stand up. I wouldn't have one chocolate bar, I'd have 10. That sort of thing. So when you're in that mentality, if I'm in training mode, I'm in training mode. I ain't going to slack-eyed behind the bags or sneak a Mars bar in down the road. I'm going to do it properly.
And that personality, I was going to say, makes you the top of the world, the heavyweight champion of the world, because without that extreme personality, that perfectionism, all or nothing, you wouldn't be able to get to the top.
Dragged on though the negotiations to get this fight. I mean, I'm quite sure, you know, I'm sure you might say it for yourself, but you'd like to be a busy fighter.
Oh, unbelievably.
If you're busy, then you're not going to blow up in weight, and
yeah.
you're going to keep fighting. But because of this rematch clause, it's dragged on and on and on, and they've obviously, they're thinking Tyson's going to blow up in weight. It's going to be hard for him to get up the weight. That's the games that they play, and that's why I believe they dragged on the negotiations.
Do you feel they did that on purpose?
Of course they do. Everything they do is, you know,